As we move along here to our next speaker is Mr. Peter Heffernan, Chief Executive of the Marine Institute of Ireland, and I pass the floor to you, Peter.
Thank you, Chairman. In the interest of time, I'll work from here. Fado an Éireann is the opening of all the great mythological and legendary stories in Ireland. And in honour of the World Heritage status of Fado, let me explain. Fado in the Irish language means long, long ago. So Fado on Earth, our forebears found themselves on a planet that was 70% made up of the oceans, from where their life form came. It was through the 1960s, and when President Kennedy set the race to put a man on the moon, that people really challenged themselves to design life support systems in a planetary system. And it is really only now that we find and realize that we too are on a spaceship. We are subject to the forces of all of the solar energy and the energy from the core of the Earth. And the combination of those two massive energy sources have a very big influence on our ocean processes and our atmospheric interactions. When we consider that 98% of the water on this planet is contained in the ocean, and all of the old mythological stories and legends in many languages tell us inevitably that all water is on a journey back to the sea. Many in society recognize water and think of it as existing in a lake or a groundwater reservoir, but it is on our blue planet existing in the ocean 98%. It is the life support system for life on this earth. Many millennia existed without oil and hydrocarbons, but none of us will exist and can exist without safe, potable and usable water, both for our food sources grown terrestrially and for our own quality of life and survival. And when you think that we will share this planet with 50% more people within a 30-year period, the priority and the need to use and have science to understand and to guide us on our life support system is absolutely fundamental and essential. Can you imagine NASA or any other space authority sending a spacecraft into space without understanding its life support system and without having multiple backup systems for that life support system? Now ask yourself, honestly, where are we on Earth in the context of understanding our life support system? And let me give you two very sobering examples of how poor our ability to really understand that is at the moment. It is only a number of short months and years since one of the largest oil disasters occurred in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, it wasn't very far away from the shore, and it wasn't very deep. It was less than a mile deep. It was on the continental shelf, yet for weeks and months the world watched while the most sophisticated technological nation in the world was unable to deploy a sensor, or the hydrocarbon sector was unable to deploy a sensor that could measure the wellhead pressure. And the world observed every scientific capacity being thrown at that issue. And yet, for a number of days, multiples of the oil that leaked from the Exxon Valdez disappeared, presumably absorbed by the ocean, but not. So basically we learned that all our models and all our understanding of hydrocarbon behavior when leaked into the ocean from a seabed wellhead did not perform as expected. And we also discovered in the very recent past that all of the predictions for tsunami defense wall design in Japan, unfortunately, were found wanting. So let they be sobering examples to us of the challenge and the scale and the opportunity that is ahead of us to generate the knowledge that we not only need for survival and quality of life on this planet, but also for the very significant market and development opportunities generating that technology will give us. I believe we are on the verge of an unprecedented convergence opportunity when it comes to the oceans. Looking at it from a European perspective, we have the integrated maritime policy, we have an Atlantic strategy, we have DG Regio giving of examples of opportunity yesterday. We have very significant programs of research already underway on common fisheries policy, on water framework directive, at national and international levels. So the opportunity to integrate and to gain the convergence benefits from both those and the economic opportunities are very, very real and very, very large. What lies ahead of us is an unprecedented opportunity for science to serve society on both very big and very local benefit scenarios. In the Atlantic strategy, the opportunity for us all over the course of the consultation and preparation phase is to design the most high impact, the most added value, and the most significant integrated science contributions that Europe has ever undertaken in the Atlantic. And really, the Atlantic is just but a piece of the global ocean circulation system. You cannot study one without being integrated into the knowledge of it all, but we can make a major contribution. The challenge for all of us and for the organisation of what we do in this space ahead is to overcome whatever are the bureaucratic and organisational issues that to date have hindered the ability of Europe, US, Canada, Brazil and the other players to play together, to act together on large science of the oceans and to make a major contribution to that challenge. It is across programmes, with people, with science and with society that this can be done. It has been a labour of love for many of us over the last decade to bring things to this point. There's an opportunity in the next decade and the next 2 decades to revolutionise our knowledge of the oceans, to see the oceans with new eyes, with new technologies, with new joined-up focus and new opportunities. Let's not miss that opportunity. Thank you very much.